serve. Settle taking the tip for Temple. C.J. Walker winning it for ECU.
Now, keep in mind, ECU has one of the most physical backcourts in the entire country, where both guards tremendously known for crashing the rebounds.
But that early on, Kim Hayes knocked it down to 3 and get ECU up by a triple.
Speaking of Coach Schwartzbach Hall, he said, you know, we struggled a lot because our defense traveled, but we fouled a lot. But we was never hitting shots. We're starting to find our range. So you put that along with that physicality, they're a tough cover.
See Mashburn giving basketball up to Barry. Barry also finding his range so far. And look at those Temple starters. Barry, Mashburn, Settle, Tobiasen, and Duradola. The 5 taking the floor first for the Owls. Just 3 on the shot clock as Settle drives the floater. No good, too strong. Tobiasen trying to crash. And Settle ended up with it.
Tobias is glad to see him back on the floor and getting minutes. His length at his position, he's able to do so many things for Temple and Coach Fisher.
Mashburn rising, trying to pick up where he left off. No good on the jumper. See the rebounding early on there from ECU.
Now, I hope these referees let them play today, because this is going to be running the trenches, like I said earlier. That was a ticky-tack foul. The refs could have let them play off that as long as they lose it. I think they got to let these guys play, or there's going to be a lot of whistles blown today.
R.J. Felton pulling down that board at a career-high 14 against USF as you look at the starting 5 for this East Carolina team. Hayes, Felton, Riley, Walker, and LeBeau. It's really that 3-headed monster scoring the basketball of Walker, Riley, and Felton that's carried them offensively. Hayes doing a great job initiating this offense throughout the season. Walker trying to work on the freshman. The former Owl, Jordan Riley, the drive and kick. On the left wing, the 3, that's good. And just like that, ECU with a 6-point advantage. Dragon LeBeau with the triple.
2 made threes for a team who struggled shooting the ball early in the season. I know Coach Schwartz is happy by that. Now, if you're Coach Fisher, do you say, oh, we got to make them keep beating us from 3, or we trust that they're going to make shots now?
Mashburn with the response on the other end, getting Temple on the scoreboard. And you mentioned ECU shooting the basketball. Last 3 games, double-digit 3-pointers made. They'd only done that once in the opener this season. Coming into this game, they found a new gear offensively from behind the arc.
Exactly, and the way they get downhill, the way they attack the rim, the way they're physical, if they can shoot the ball too, they're going to shock a lot of teams.
And right there, something else they're able to do, rebound the basketball tremendously, whether it be offensive, defensive. Second chance bucket right there, make it a 6-point game again.
Unfortunately for Coach Fisher and Temple, they're going to be out one of their biggest guards, is Deshoney. He's out tonight, and he could be a size matchup for them. But unfortunately, him not playing means this Temple guard's got to step up and play physical.
Settle thinking 3 from the right side. No good, too strong. The board pulled down by Hayes. No slowing down for Hayes. He gets down low, spinning around, can't get the bucket. And Mashburn there for the board.
Great transition defense by Temple. Now, I think with ECU's ability to guard on the other end, I think it's important that Temple gets some easy buckets in transition.
Hayes with the block right there. Felton bringing the ball down the floor for ECU.
One thing, ECU, when they can get that ball to C.J. Walker and play through him, this team is really a problem and a nightmare with their size.
Fall away there for Felton, caught nothing. Duradola with the board and Barry on the run with it.
Great transition pass ahead by Temple.
You look at this Temple team, you see 2 freshmen in this starting lineup, but you look at Duradola and Tobiasen as Mashburn with the drive and gets the finish.
Mashburn getting downhill, people. So people that listen to the pregame show, you heard me correctly. Over 2,300 points. This man can score the ball.
Hayes controlling the basketball for ECU. And the Temple transfer, Jordan Riley, having an impressive run, especially since the beginning of December for this ECU team, as the Pirates with another bucket there. Down low, it's R.J. Felton.
Speaking of Jordan Riley, when you transfer from one school in the conference and you play against them, I wonder how do you feel when you go to their home? Like usually back here we used to play at.
How would you imagine it feels?
Yeah, you know, as a player, that just doesn't sit right with me. I know that's today's age, but I don't know how I'll be able to function. You got your friends, your old teammates. Now, I don't know what happens in the NBA, but college is a little different for me. Not no more, though. Let me take that back. Not no more.
Walker rising, a 2-handed jam to make it a 6-point game. But really, really struggled late. It did not get the execution they were looking for on the road. The Pirates able to get that victory. See Matteo Piccarelli into the game for the first time for Temple. Played a season-high 28 minutes in the win on Charlotte. Double overtime game. Did foul out of that game. It's a lot of time. Zion Stanford also getting in for the Owls, and Elijah Gray making his return to the lineup. And Stanford, the jumper, no good. The board down low for Gray, and he's just not there, able to get that one.
Lost the ball, but I like the second chance opportunity. Zion's going to be so important for this team because Temple has to attack ECU from the foul line area versus that zone.
Hayes, the jumper, no good. The ball tipped to Mashburn.
You got to get buckets here. You got to push the tempo in transition.
Gray working his way towards the paint. Going to find Piccarelli on the right wing for three. No good. Stanford trying to fight for the board, but it's Hayes that emerges with it.
Great box out by Hayes. Allow ECU to get the transition here. We have a mismatch here. I wonder if East...
Gray with the block for the second chance opportunity. No good. And the board for Gray.
Good block. Good find. Got to finish that next time. Once again, ECU gets back in this zone.
Reed Kaysen was the one trying to go up with that one. Ends up with the basketball on the other hand. Now Temple able to generate a turnover here. Stanford the drive, kick to Gray, two-handed flush. Temple within 6.
Mateo there with a good defensive possession, getting the steal. Started by Zion, but we'll give him credit for it. And Gray with the finish.
Piccarelli being given the assignment of Hayes right now. The top of that zone.
So now Temple back in that matchup zone. Now the problem with you playing some kind of zone is rebounding.
And plays like that right there as Kaysen rises and finds the flush he was looking for just moments ago.
That's why it's so important. You gotta get that ball at the foul line versus any team versus zone. And if you're the opposing team, the defense, you have to have your arms moving and make it very difficult for them to make that pass.
Stanford on the right side with it, driving with the left hand, gets the finish to go. Spark plug off the bench, Zion Stanford.
That's what Zion does, people. He loves contact. The West Catholic graduate loves to be physical and play around that rim. He's an ECU type of player.
I know you love to see someone from the PCL showcased.
Greatest league in the country.
Kaysen going down low to Riley, trying to work on the former teammate Piccarelli.
Good double team by Gray. Good ball movement by ECU, getting that ball from one side of the floor to the other. But once again, they're going to go where they bread his butter around that rim.
Felton tried to get one up before the shot clock expired. Could not find the rim, and Temple getting the basketball back.
Great defense by the Temple Owls. Jordan Riley tried to post up. Piccarelli said a mismatch, but Gray came to help. They did a good job swinging the ball to one side, but the shot clock was down by then because very methodical defense.
Taking a look at Michael Schwartz here, third season as ECU's coach and doing a tremendous job putting this program in position to succeed. Last year, first time they won 3 games consecutively in the American, and they've done it again this year, looking to find that 4th game in a row, get above 500 American play.
Coach Schwartz had a great conversation with him. He said the importance of development. He said you used to have 2-3 years developed guy, now you got 3 months.
Berry in that one to make it a 3-point game. Quante Berry sick earlier in the week. Led to some of the struggles against Charlotte. Was able to gut it out and play a lot of that double overtime game. Looks like he's found a little bit of the groove early on here.
Competitors find a way to play. And that's what Berry did. Good double team. We call that blitz defense off the pick and roll by Berry and Gray.
Walker taking Gray down low. Unable to get it to go, and Berry with the board.
Gray has come in here and have a major impact. Elijah Gray, that is, on both ends of the floor.
Stanford attacking into the paint, nearly loses the handle, now going to lose it. Trey Woodard up the floor with it, trying to go down low as it blocked by Stanford. Piccarelli with the board. So 43% from the field, a couple of big shots in the overtime portions of the game on Wednesday. ECU with the basketball now, 15 on the shot clock as they try and engage something offensively. Walker into the paint, and a good move to get down low and an easy finish.
Walker does not need much space. He just needs to be able to get 2 feet planted, and he's going to elevate over most skyscrapers in Philadelphia, as he just proved it there.
And an over 2-minute scoring drought for ECU. Berry with the basketball for Temple on the other side.
Temple going down low to Elijah Gray versus the guard. Got to be smart here.
Ray fading away, just off the mark.
I don't know if I like the big fella fading away off somebody 6'3". Got to be, there's ways to score without fading over smaller guys.
Guy who never fades away here, Walker, a strong take to the bucket, make it a 7-point game.
Right there, Walker doing what he's doing. He's starting to find his mark. ECU starting to find him. Temple made a run, and ECU said, you know what, let's calm them down by getting to the big fella.
Walker, quite experienced. Started at Oregon, UCF, now here at ECU. Experience on the other end. Mashburn trying to settle things down for Temple.
Mashburn getting to that right hand. He has a floater. Don't need to be near the rim to get it off either. He has a nice touch.
Walker with it again, trying to attack down low, spinning around, going to go to the bucket with the right hand and gets a friendly roll.
Walker, get going. Temple might want to consider bringing another guy on a double.
Florida native Walker, and started at Oregon, transferred to UCF, back home out of the pandemic.
I think Temple needs to get downhill. One problem that ECU can have is guarding without fouling sometimes. Sometimes they get a little handsy. I think they need to get that ball downhill.
Ball taken away and going down the other way.
Match for a head, get fouled or score.
The answer to a lot of the struggles early offensively for Temple, 6 of the team's 13. Going back to that game against Charlotte, there did seem to be times in that game between the two sides where it was really just Mashburn going offensively. Yes. That was the only thing Temple had.
And sometimes Temple can get stagnant. They can watch Mash get off and watch him get off, and then it stops the flow of the offense. And that plays right into the defender's hands. You got to keep getting movement. Coach Cheney used to have his motto. You can play to and through people. So I think they need to find a way to play through others so guys get touches. And Mash can still end up with it, but these guys stay in the rhythm of the game.
After the basketball outside, thinking three, nothing but nylon. A triple for Jamal Mashburn Jr.
But when it's that easy, you never know. I wonder what teams eventually start considering double teaming him and making other guys beat them.
Maybe when he gets to first in Division I in scoring, because he's second right now. Walker down low, rising and throwing it down. C.J. Walker, have yourself a first half. And Temple going to turn this one over on the inbound.
Now that turnover, unfortunately, is on the freshman. The freshman got to understand, Tobias, and when you're passing the ball, it's your job to see the defender of the guy you're passing it to. And right down, this thing had a lapse.
And that's a little bit of the difference right here between ECU and Temple. The experience in the starting lineups, the experience in their rotations. This one from the corner for three, no good. But offensive board by who else? C.J. Walker laying it up and in. All of a sudden, a double-digit game here at the Liacouras Center.
Coach Fisher needs two things. He needs his guys to play more physical, and needs to put a body on somebody. And right here on the offensive end, they got to get downhill. But ECU's doing a great job because they're so physical that even when they switch, their guards are able to guard the Temple bigs. Like right now.
Duradola trying to go to work, spinning around, losing the handle, but it's knocked away.
Bad spacing by Tobias. Duradola is telling Tobias, when I got the ball, don't come nowhere near me. Give me space, allow me to operate. You know, some of these bigs got to teach their guys, because now the way the game is played, the guards don't know how to say play with a guy who has a low post presence. But, you know, if you have that presence, you know what you're doing. And, hey, communicate. Hey, listen, when I had the ball, get away from me. Allow me to work.
Barry going into Duradola. Tries to go to work on LeBeau. Spin around a number of times in the paint with the left hand. Walker erases it. But out of bounds there. Tremendous job on the boards all season. The scoring really coming right now in conference play.
Yes, it is. He's really finding his mark. He's starting to find out how teams are guarding everyone else. And he's finding little loopholes right there. And his ability to play above everyone gives the ability to just fly over people and finish.
The career high 28 against Wichita State. As Temple trying to find an answer offensively. The review team that it still was out on Felton, so still Temple basketball. 10 on the shot clock. Barry with it on the right side. Barry going to try and rise for a jumper, and he gets it to go. Quante Barry with the bucket to make it an 8-point game.
I love the fact how he came off that pick and roll tight. and he came off with explosiveness and was able to elevate in a mid-range game, which is pretty much unheard of now, but Berry was able to do it there.
Mashburn and Berry with 14 of Temple's 18 in this game. Speaking of 14, C.J. Walker controlling it.
That was a great double team by Temple, recognizing C.J. had the advantage.
Double coming for Hayes. And with 6 on the shot clock, trying to get something set up offensively. Woodard firing away. That one off the mark for the second chance opportunity. Not there. Short on the layup.
Good defense by Temple. ECU is leading with points in the paint with 20-8, as well as second chance points with 4-0. Temple got to be more physical around that rim.
Ashburn kick to the corner. Berry, long 2. Can't get it to go.
I love Berry's shot selection, but I love also ECU's defense.
Duradola reaching in, knocking it away, setting Temple out on the run. Tobiasen, no travel called right there. They'll keep playing. That one knocked out of bounds by him. He got away with one right there.
See, that's like when you're growing up as a kid right there, and you know you shouldn't have stole that extra cookie from the top of the refrigerator, and you did, but you get caught so much, you anticipate here, Mom, you better put that cookie down. That's what Tobiasen did, and he knew he traveled, and he kind of gave up, oh, I got caught. But don't stop playing until that whistle's blown, and that's a freshman mistake by the young guy.
Mark, you never got away with anything from the referees in your career, right?
Yeah, I gotta come away with a couple.
Walker again laying it up and in. A 10-point game once again. He's up to 14 with half of ECU's points so far.
So ECU is seeing a Temple blitzing. That means double teaming the pick and roll. So what they're doing is they're finding CJ and Walker on the dive, and Temple's not doing a good job of picking it up earlier.
Stanford spinning around trying to make something happen offensively for Temple. Shot clock goes under 10. A turnaround jumper good for Zion Stanford.
I think this is a game that Zion can really have a major impact because his physicality matches with ECU. A lot of guards, and I consider Zion a guard, can't handle this physicality at ECU, but he has the build and the mold to do so.
Talking with Jason Ivey on Wednesday about Shane Dezzoni, consider himself a post guard. You just kind of give that label to someone like Stanford?
Absolutely, 100%. That's a good analogy. He is, and his size, like not having him tonight, that's a big reason why ECU is where they are with the boards.
Walker just threw it up towards the bucket. ECU somehow got a second chance on that one as they continue to crash the boards. Temple lucky to emerge with the basketball.
Now Temple has to take advantage right here, but I'm ECU, and ECU's done a good job in the half-court set.
Settle thought about the 3, instead started driving. Gonna try one more time to go baseline. You see the physicality there at Walker.
Now give him space to operate. ECU's going to dig at this.
Stanford still spinning around, falling to the floor. Thought he was going to get tied up there for a moment. Felton able to emerge with it to LeBeau. Hayes up the floor.
Good defense by Mashburn.
Walker giving up. Felton thinking 3. No good.
Now that's the difference right there. Where ECU, even though they missed a shot, they was very patient. C.J. Walker is really limping back and asking for a sub.
Mashburn gets the bucket to go. Temple with the basketball coming out of the media timeout. C.J. Walker was hurt, went up the tunnel. The Pirates' leading scorer in this game with 14 already, not on the floor. Looking at their other top 3 that they have for Felton and Riley. Just 2 points between the 2 of them right now. It's going to be on the 2 of them to start carrying. You see Felton with the drive, rising, that one short.
Now what I'm seeing is ECU is now finding they're kind of playing tight. Right there, that last transition, Jordan Riley should have took off right there, which he's known to do. He kind of gave him a dunk, which is a little unlike him.
They're trying to get things going for this team offensively. Mashburn already in double figures. Not an unusual sequence here for Temple. 11 points in this game already off the mark on that jumper.
Let's see if East Carolina can find somebody else to take a shot here. Felton, Riley, someone got to step up. You can't wait for C.J. Walker, who's about to check back in the game, come. Because if you rely on him, you can double team and take him out the game.
Farrell with the basketball with a dozen on the shot clock. He's trying to get by Berry. Stops, pops, and Gray fighting for the board, able to secure it.
Play an example. That last possession by East Carolina, they were hesitant. They were tight. They didn't want to shoot that ball. You got to be aggressive at all times.
Mashburn aggressive there, off the mark, and Riley with the board.
Riley's a specimen, isn't he? Jordan Riley, he's like a middle linebacker playing basketball.
That strength, we talked about post guards on the Temple side of things. For Riley, can cause problems with his opponents.
See right here. Got to get down here if you East Carolina.
Well, firing for three, knocks it down. The deep triple exclusively on ESPN+. Get back to action here at the Liacouras Center. Temple just trying to get the ball inbounds. Riley leading this conference in steals for the season. Already in the stat sheet for one this afternoon.
Here's the benefit of having a 6'10" forward slash center point guard slash center forward. I mean point guard forward. I mean, listen, you can run an offense going.
Berry driving downhill to the left with the right hand, gets the finish. Quante Berry against the bigger Walker, getting the bucket to make it a 7-point game.
Let me tell you something about Berry. Berry loves to play that mid-range game, but his ability to stop and go and finish around the rim is elite.
He's another one that seems to revel in the contact down low. Walker working down low, rising and getting the tap in. Jordan Riley.
Riley was so high up in the air when he landed. Berry just looked at him and shook his head like, dude, would you please come down from up there?
Berry looking for the response on the other end for Temple. Really slipping there.
So right there, the young fella trying to set a pick and roll for Berry when he has a center on him. You can't do that.
Mashburn knifing his way through the defense and getting the bucket to go.
East Carolina, they looking to find CJ now, who's having a good game and kind of been quiet of late season back in the game.
Dola trying to jump in the way of Riley and just caught too much of him.
Absolutely. We talk about the difference in age here. You know, East Carolina started 4 seniors. Four seniors. The Temple guy had started 2 true freshmen. We see another true freshman, but T coming in the game versus older East Carolina team.
And going back to the comment Adam Fisher made, it just basically telling these guys before conference play, congrats, you're sophomores now. You have to play older when you play in this conference. So many of these teams with the portal, you know, the idea of get old, stay old. When you bring in more experienced guys, ECU's done this in a number of ways, whether it be guys experienced in other respects as you go under 5 on the shot clock. I don't know if Walker realizes, now spinning and firing, no good. Stanford rising to try and grab it, tied up with Woodard. Possession arrow favors Temple. But that notion of what you're doing and building a team, for Temple, having to trust these freshmen, you just kind of have to play above your years. And we've seen it throughout this season with a couple of the guys, but right now, in this one, certainly. Yeah,
an example. So now these coaches, they're not just trying to bring in talent. They're trying to young talent. If they do decide to go young and bring in true freshmen, but they're trying to bring in guys who are mature enough to be able to develop. You know, when you're a freshman and you coming in basketball now, you got to be able to be quick with it and learn.
Settles 3 off the mark, and Riley with the ball as the shot clock goes unplugged. 20 to go in the half.
ECU should hold the ball, get 1 shot here.
ECU, the 7-point advantage on the road. Trying to add to it before the half. 7 to go, and a foul called there. There you get Stanford on Felton.
That's a little quick there. That's a little quick. I thought the referee let him play through it, but, you know, it stopped the shot clock with almost 7 seconds left. East Carolina's going to try to get downhill, and right now they bring in Piccarelli on defense with 7 seconds there. Looking maybe to get a steal, a late 3.
You mentioned earlier in the game that might have been that you were not looking for a lot of fouls the way they were going to play. They haven't done that, so kind of surprising to see the foul call right there.
Exactly. They might have brought Piccarelli in to get a quick foul on guys.
Ball going into Hayes. Hayes moving to his left, guarded by Mashburn, rising for the long 2 off the mark. Settle there for the board, spinning around, and the horn sounds. ECU with it. Really, those other 2 have yet to show you what they've been able to do over these last couple of games, and really all season.
Exactly, and you know, it's very important that you have more than one weapon. And even though CJ's getting off, if East Carolina, as Coach Schwartz, has more than his weapons. Felton
trying to add to it off the mark, but a second chance opportunity. LeBeau crashing the boards and laying it in.
Right there, man. You look at that. You look at their calling card. It's destroy you on the rebounds. And right there, the first play of the game, Coach Fisher got to be livid.
Travion LeBeau, 7 4 and 4 so far in this game, doing a little bit of everything for this team. Barry from the free throw line answers it quickly.
Let me tell you something. Barry is such a wizard off the pick and rolls. He knows how to attack that. That's a skill, people.
And talking with Adam Fisher, that's something he was very, very excited about. Just the decisiveness he's found off the pick and roll more and more as this season has gone on.
Yeah, that's confidence, too. Having the ability to be confident and play like that, that's a lot to do with it.
A foul call. Duradola there trying to contest as Hayes went downhill. And Duradola bent over, grabbing at, appears to be his eye, his face. So look one more time at it.
Ooh. Follow through after he hit the wall. The shooter went up, came down, hit him right in the eye.
Duradola finally removing his hand from his eye as Hayes gets ready for the free throw. 81% from the free throw line this season, 9th in the American in free throw percentage.
Now you look at this right here. ECU got the first bucket of the game on the offense rebound. Now they get to the foul line. So here you go, 2-0 ECU. Being in the trenches and getting it done.
And Mark, I got to give you credit. Early on in the game, you said you didn't want the officials to play a big role in it. First half, no free throws attempted, either side.
Exactly. And listen, you knew this was going to be a very physical game, which is important. But if you keep in mind what's going on here, you got a physical team versus another team that has a young team that's trying to be physical. And the older team is winning that battle.
Mashburn falling away, gets it to go. Well, that physicality's been a big part of Temple scoring the basketball, especially getting to the free throw line. It's something that Mike Schwartz emphasized talking about this matchup leading up to it. And ECU obviously has had conversations about their ability to get to the free throw line. Hayes sizing up a three, no good.
Right there, another offensive rebound by East Carolina.
Settle, thinking three from the corner, no good. Duradola fight for the board, and they're going to get him for the foul.
See, I don't know. I didn't get another look at that. But, you know, when you're young and you're being physical, you know, when you get these kind of calls, it kind of is very deflating. Yes, he has 3 fouls. But let me tell you something. They have Gray, they have Duradola right here. Let's see. Oh, that was a flop. That was a flop. The referees are letting them get away with flops now. This game's going to be too physical to allow that to happen. Allow these players to play.
Babatunde Duradola, 4th foul in this game. The rest of the game, only 2 fouls called. That floater goes for ECU. And Temple already dealing with a little bit of concern. No Keita in this game. They've had to work Gray back into the lineup for this game. Temple going to be interesting in the way they manage the front court the rest of the way.
Yeah, you know, I think it's important, but this guy right here, Zion, he can do so much. He's so versatile with his height. He can score down low, he can pull. He's now learned to shoot the ball. He can be a physical presence for them.
Stanford with a 3 to make it a 6-point game. Two sides flying early offensively in this second half. Gonna go down low to Hayes. We're gonna get a foul offensively on ECU. Goes on Felton.
Momentum may be changing, but listen, I'll tell you, watch the back screen. It's a good screen on Mashburn. He said he extended his arm a little bit. I don't know about that, but you know, I know Coach Fisher was saying he moved a little bit, yes. But the way this game is being played, I don't know. That may be normal.
Yeah, the lead may be what it was. Looking at the body extent, I don't know about that one. Mashburn already with 15 in the game, getting the screen from Gray. Downhill he goes one more time, and for the first time
here, you watch the drive. Mashburn lost the ball. The ball hit the side of the backboard, and they thought C.J. Walker might have got it on the board after the foul.
Understood with the way he can jump, you might expect he's going to take one out of the air, but not that time.
I wonder if he ever did that test. We put a dollar bill on top of the backboard. He jump up and grab it and put 4 quarters of change. I mean, he got ups like that, people. I'm in envy. I could barely get my fingertips over the road I played.
Mashburn off the mark on that free throw. Foul call. They're going to get settled. Trying to get in there for the board. Mashburn 1 for 2 on that trip to the free throw line. The last time he went to the free throw line was also a 1 for 2 trip, but pretty consequential one, getting that game-winning free throw against Charlotte on Wednesday night.
Exactly. But I'll tell you something. The referees will be a little tight in the whistle now. They're letting it loose now. They said we wasn't a lot of fouls called. We're going to make sure we make up for it in the second half.
Walker, the star of the first half, trying to drive on Gray with the right hand, gets the finish and the foul.
I believe for Temple's big, C.J. Walker, I know they got him listed 6'8" and say he's big, but this right here, his first step is a problem. Temple's young bigs will have a problem with that. I think Temple really need to consider digging at that ball when he has ISO at the top of that keel in front of that perimeter. If not, it's going to be a long night for the Temple big men.
It's going to be an interesting night if the fouling keeps up like this for the Temple big men, as we see 4 fouls before we get 4 minutes into the second half. Babatunde Duradola already on the bench with 4 fouls in this game. As Barry trying to save it was out of bounds, and ECU getting an extra possession.
Yeah, ECU is looking at picking up the aggression. Temple trying to match. Maybe, and you know, I'm curious why not settle guard CJ a little bit, but with that being said, we know how physical CJ is, and he'll probably get fouls with him as well. So if I'm Coach Fisher, I'm looking to dig on the ball when CJ Walker has ISO from the wing.
Hayes with the basketball, finding Felton. And Farrell, a good swing here to Riley. Stepping back, thought about it. And who else? Feeding Walker. Attacking out the left side, laying it up and in. Back-to-back buckets for Walker. He's up to 18 already.
Temple have to do something different. You can't rely on it.
Monte Berry with the response real quick. There's 3 right back at you.
And C.J. Walker's having such an exceptional night. One of their best players, R.J. Felton, has been real quiet.
Jordan Riley with a triple in front of his former home crowd.
Now, how's Temple going to execute now? What are they going to do? Of course, put the ball in this guy's hands.
Team on the season highlighted early in the game. Felton, Walker, Riley, the big 3 for this team offensively, and Walker has been the driving force of the 3 in this one.
Absolutely. C.J. Walker is having his way versus the Temple bigs. The versatility, his ability to play off the dribble and elevate is making it very difficult for these young guys for Temple.
Temple trying to work it into one of those young big guys, giving up Gray to Mashburn. Mashburn already with 16 in this one. And you see that active defense, the active hands for ECU.
They see that Mashburn has 16 and everybody else along with Berry is kind of struggling. So what they did to Mashburn to play one-on-one, they really built the wall, which means they run multiple defenders within his vicinity, which made him hard for the make a pass.
11 on the shot clock as Berry going to be the one to get this one in for Temple. Gray trying to go to work down low with left hand. Going to get the foul there.
Love the fact that his aggression, he tried to score there. And when you don't get many touches, and when you do, sometimes you get a tendency to just pass. Gray's like, no. I'm trying to score right here, get the ball. The lower guy got Riley, even though they're about the same. They probably got bench press the same. But Gray is a little bit taller, just a little bit, able to use his size for 2.
And I know you as a big right there. You get the ball in the post, and you sense that player that's smaller than you, shorter than you. That's exactly what you want to see from a post player.
Exactly. Nowadays, you know, the post play is almost non-existent. But, you know, if you can score the ball, coaches will give you the ball. But it starts with confidence as well. And nowadays, because of the lack of post touches, a lot of bigs, especially the young ones, don't look to post. And I tell them all, like, you have to have a weapon out there. What makes you viable? You just can't be 6'9", 6'8", 6'10", and don't have a skill. What's your skill?
Riley getting Gray up in the air, trying to rise and throwing it down. Jordan Riley.
That may be dunk of the year.
No. I think you're going to see that later on SportsCenter. As Mashburn foul trying to drive.
Mash trip, gets up a little hesitant, but he's up. Good sportsmanship, but watch this. Oh, my God. Ooh.
Wow.
Whoa.
Stanford
The
trying to block that one.
The elevation.
2 former teammates meeting at the rim right there. Mashburn with the basketball, driving down the right side, drawing the foul.
And that's something that ECU was notorious for in the beginning of the year. They couldn't play D without fouling. And I think Temple is understanding if we drive the ball, the referees are blowing that whistle now, we're going to get free throw attempts. And that's what's happening now.
Mashburn trying to cut into this double-digit deficit. 1 for 2, his first trip to the line. Gets that one to go. You look at this Temple team from the free throw line. 5th in Division I in free throws made per game. 7th in Division I in free throw attempts. It's something that's been a driving force of what they do offensively. And obviously it does start with Jamal Mashburn, as most of the offense does.
Absolutely, but that's a great way to score. If you're being offensively aggressive getting downhill, forcing teams to foul you, what you do right there is you put pressure on them. You're putting pressure on the defender, and it makes them hesitant late in the game to want to guard.
I'll go into the conversation about fouls. Went 20 minutes in that first half with 4 total fouls between the two sides. We are not 5 minutes into the second half. There's 5 fouls on each team so far.
Yeah, the referees sometimes see an imbalance and they try to correct it. Right now, the referee's like, okay, well, we're going to call it now to keep it kind of, I don't know how you say it, but they're doing a job of calling that whistle now. Or are the teams just being more aggressive getting downhill? And I think it's a mixture of both.
Riley had the big dunk moments ago, tries to lay it up, falling to the floor, somehow on the ground gets his own board. ECU just trying to swing it around.
They got to get that ball to the foul line versus Temple.
Hayes driving, gets that free throw line, gonna try and float one in, and he does. Cam Hayes gets the bucket to go. He's up to 7.
Now you see me, now you don't with the ball fakes he just did. He faked me. I thought the ball was going the other way.
10-point lead again for ECU. Jamal Mashburn Jr. with 18 to lead Temple.
ECU got to bring help here. They don't want CJ guarding him out there.
Great thinking 3 off the mark.
Was that the shot that Coach Fisher won? I don't think so, but he showed some type of aggression. Mismatch for Eastern Carolina in that box with the freshman guard CJ Walker. Gotta find him.
You like the work Tobias is doing right there to try and at least wall off that pass going?
I do, and the best part is his length makes it difficult to get the pass in. Like, look right there.
Yeah, talk about length. Settle getting into that passing lane.
For the basket for number 22, Elijah Gray. Fouls on number 0, Jimmy Woodard, his first, team 6. Go ahead, man.
His ability to get out there in the passing lane gave Settles the steal.
Shooting 1 is number 22.
And now we got Big Gray at the foul line shooting 2.
Elijah Gray, a chance to add to his total after getting the bucket there. Thanks to the goaltending. 1 for 2, his first time at the line. I imagine he has not played since that Memphis game. Now getting back into it. Did not play on that Texas trip, not against Charlotte. And played an important role right now, especially with Duradola in foul trouble.
Absolutely, and he's had it very effective. He's getting buckets, he's playing good defense, but I also think his teammates helped him, digging at the ball, making it difficult for ECU to get downhill.
Temple back within 7. Now they're going to try and work it down low, and a foul called. And Steve Settle trying to guard CJ Walker. And you talked about the physicality of this matchup and how it may favor Walker earlier in this broadcast.
Absolutely. CJ Walker is such a specimen, people. He's about 6'8", 230, maybe 2% body fat, and he plays the game in a physical way. And Settles, he's maybe 6'10", he's a little slighter frame. That's going to be a problem for him, and may have him on the foul line and put Settles in foul trouble.
He's thinking 3, no good. Settle just going to let that one bounce its way out of bounds.
Good stop by Temple University. ECU, that was a good shot. It just didn't go in for East Carolina.
This is where Temple has to start to make inroads in this game. Down 7, just like they were at half. And you saw ECU a couple of times get to double figures, but getting the stop on one end, a chance now to get a bucket here.
Right now, Eastern Carolina in that zone. You got to get that ball to Zion right there.
Stanford with a jumper. Surprised he didn't point over at you and say thank you for that.
Yes, you have to get that ball to the foul line there. You must to break down the East Carolina zone. Today, East Carolina zone has been unanswered.
LeBeau in a similar spot within Temple defensively, giving up now. Hayes trying to drive on Settle. The layup no good. The tip-in is there for ECU to make it a 7-point game again.
Another offensive rebound, and another one, and another one. They just get so physical, and they just beat you with their physicality. It's not broken, don't change it. Got to get that ball to the foul line, but East Carolina's doing a better job of defending him. Got to face up.
Stanford trying to rise over Walker and gets another to go. Zion Stanford in the middle of that zone. Temple finally able to get to that next level of the zone to get some offense. And Steve Settle called for another foul. Trying to guard Walker there. That's his third.
Now, I know we said he got the ball, but what you're not seeing is Settle's hand around his waist. That's what the referees called.
3 on Settle, 4 on Duradola.
See, he released it, and it's contact. He had him in the waist, and then he released it to go for the deflection, but it still was contact.
A tough one for Settle. Does have 5 boards and a pair of steals in this game. Yet to get on the scoreboard, now picking up his third foul. Elijah Gray back into this game for it. We have hit that time. 7 fouls on Temple, the 1-1 for Walker. And this ECU team on the season shoots 70% from the free throw line. You're going to see them there quite a bit over the next 12 or so minutes. The rebounding not there for Temple. Felton able to secure it. The Temple with the turnover there. Berry emerging from the pack with it.
Deflection. Temple needs something in transition. It cannot let East Carolina step in a zone.
Gray attacking downhill, had it ripped away, and a foul called. And you can see the frustration of this half worth of fouls from Adam Fisher.
Yeah. Coach Fisher immediately turned and barked at the baseline official. Said, look, you got to make that call, because he didn't make it. It came from up top. But he might have had a better view from up there. Getting downhill.
You got nothing from that baseline official, like you said, is Gray trying to bully his way into the paint. And Gray rattling that one home. Making a 5-point game.
Sometimes the foul shots are not going to be all net. They're going to bounce around the rim a little bit. We're playing American rules, not European rules, so it's not going to be smacked off. Let it bounce as long as it go in.
Short on that second free throw. The second free throw off the mark from Gray in this game. Woodard trying to find Riley with a free throw line jumper, and similar to what we've seen with Stanford on the other end, Riley able to get that bucket.
Exactly. Now, let me tell you why both teams are in that zone. Because now the referees are blowing their whistle. So if you play man-to-man, they get that ball and they start attacking versus man, the referee's going to put you in foul trouble. And Temple has their many best players in foul trouble.
After trying to attack down low.
Absolutely. Referees saying, you know what, let's kind of slow this game up and not let it go too haywire. They're blowing a whistle. But I will tell you, both teams are doing a conscious effort of getting downhill and not relying on the three. So it's not, I'm not saying it's the referees. It's the style of play has changed from both teams.
Ashburn's second free throw good. And Temple, again, still trying to claw its way back into this game. You've seen it get down to 5. You've seen it get down to 7, but just not yet that sustained run.
Now, I know Temple's down 5, but Temple's not playing bad basketball, people. Temple's shooting over 52% from field and 40% from 3. But it's just ECU with 14 second chance points and getting buckets around the paint. Now, they have 40 points to Temple's 22 around the paint. That's the difference.
You mentioned 14 second chance points. Also, number 14, C.J. Walker doing his thing again, making it a 7-point game.
Absolutely. Eastern Carolina's doing a better job today getting that ball, defending around that foul line area. Temple has to flash. Great pass.
Berry down low, gets the bucket with the left hand.
Great dive by the Temple player, and Gray being skilled enough to find him.
You're looking for that off-ball movement. Someone getting into that space, especially with the zone, as they're trying to adjust. You have to adjust to him.
Absolutely.
They attack downhill. Now Walker up top. Thought about the 3. Going to try and take Gray. Good job slowing him up, but it has not mattered today. C.J. Walker again with the bucket.
Temple has to dig, man. I mean, I really don't like the fact that Coach Fisher is allowing their bigs to guard C.J. Walker one-on-one. You got to.
substitution for East Carolina,
Good job, but like now Jared he's coming back in the game. So they're going to attack him from the top and keep C.J. Walker. You got to bring a dig. You got to force ECU to hit some more threes. Right now, 4 for 12 at ECU. But I'm telling you what they're doing. They shoot about 90% from that paint area.
It's been tremendously impressive. Somewhere the Owls have found successes with Stanford at the free throw line, driving down that right side to make it a 5-point game again.
You got to find a way to get that ball to force Eastern Carolina out of that zone, because when they go man, they foul almost every possession.
Temple 5 of its last 6, ECU 4 of its last 4. Walker trying to make it 5 of its last 5. No good there, and Stanford with the board out and running.
We call it a heat check.
Stanford down that right side again, laying it up and in a 3-point game here on North Broad Street.
Zion Stanford is such a good player. The way he plays the game is sort of like a throwback.
On the right wing, Felton thinking 3, no good. And Tobias in there with the big board. Mashburn trying to push it ahead for Berry. Berry, the drive, losing the handle, trying to tip it away, and it's going to go the way of the Pirates.
Now, let me tell you something, people. Watching this game, you would have thought that was a bad play by Berry. Yes, he could have been more in control. But I'm going to tell you something. As a young fella, Deredola has to sprint the middle of the floor. If he sprinted the way, he was wide open for a pass for a dunk, but he jogged, and Perry didn't have a pattern to give him the ball.
At the free throw line, Riley giving it back out, swinging around. You look at that on your screen. Both of these teams in American Conference play have not played in a game decided by double digits. Only close games for these two teams through conference play so far.
Absolutely. It's looking like we will repeat that cycle.
Certainly looking like it right now. A 3-point game as Mashburn called for the foul. Put R.J. Felton at the line, shooting at 75.6% from the free throw line. And a tremendous last 6 games for him. Averaging 20 points per game, 9.3 rebounds, especially a career high 14 in the win over USF. As he goes, this team certainly goes.
Absolutely, but right down today, he has 2 points. He's been allowing CJ to really get going.
Stanford off the mark on that 3. Duradola fighting down low, not able to secure it. It's Hayes emerging.
Temple's in that man defense. CJ's, I gotta bring help. You gotta bring help. You can't leave them one-on-one, people. But they did, and Zion reaches into the West Catholic native.
Stanford again with the left hand makes it a 1-point game. Started by Duradola on one end, finished off by Stanford on the other.
Stanford helping his big fella out, knowing there's gonna be a mismatch. He said, let me help you, big fella. Let me get this steal. That equals to 2.
Over 2 minutes since ECU last scored, and this Liacouras crowd can sense it. Duradola locked up down low with Walker, and speaking of who's on the floor for this Temple team, it's Berry, Tobias, Stanford, Gray, and Mashburn. Again, Duradola done for the afternoon. Good to have Duradola back out there. He sat out much of the end of that Charlotte game, get banged up in that second half, but unfortunately for Duradola, his afternoon's over. ECU breaking the scoreless drought and making this a 3-point game once more.
Yes, Temple has that ball. They're going to run some kind of pick and roll. That ball ends up with Mashburn. But you see what's happening now. East Carolina is not in a zone, they in man, but you got to attack like Jamal Mashburn just did.
He knows a thing or two about attacking downhill. Mashburn banking it in to make it a 1-point game again. You saw he held off that screen. Great, get lost. Yes. I'm going to take this on my own.
He has their big on him. They have C.J. Walker. You got to attack that. You can't run no pick and roll.
Riley outside, trying to find a way to get down to Walker. Instead, it's Riley up top. Now going to find Walker at the elbow. Into the paint with the right hand, gets the finish, gets the foul.
Now I'm going to tell you something. That was tremendous defense by that freshman from Temple, Tobias. But that was even better offense by C.J. Walker. That's called take him to a spot. You have to be fancy. Take him to a spot and just elevate and shoot over him. And that's what the older player did versus the younger player.
C.J. Walker with 27 points. His free throw would tie his career high of 28. Had that against Wichita State earlier in conference season. And that he does. 4-point game.
He's a mismatch nightmare. His ability to be so fast off that first step and strength along with it.
Barry downhill, drive, and a foul call. Barry 14 in this game, trying to add to the total here. He gets the first free throw to go. 63.6% on the season from the free throw line. Temple as a team just under 73%. He gets the second one to go to make it a 2-point game.
Let's see if Felton going to try to get involved today. You know, right now he's 1 for 6. He's been kind of quiet lately. Let's see if he's going to try to get involved because we're going to keep going through CJ. Now Temple has Zion Stanford on CJ Walker.
Jay Woodard with it on the left wing. He's got Gray on him. Gonna try and drive right past him, get to the bucket, and get the finish.
That was filthy. That was a big-time finish by number 0, Woodard. Good finish. Eastern Carolina is back into that man-to-man. Temple has had success getting downhill. Let's see if East Carolina can play better D without fouling.
Barry joined the party of guards that kind of hunted that switch on Walker, giving up to Stanford. Puts one up and can't get the finish of Walker. Another board for him.
Yeah, C.J. Walker's having a very well-rounded game.
Felton. Mentioned quiet scoring, but still a looming threat for this team. And what he's done over conference play, you're never going to count him out of just catching fire as Walker stays scorching hot. A new career high for C.J. Walker. He's up to 30 points, and the ECU leads up to 6.
C.J. Walker understands I have the mismatch here, and I love the fact that Coach Schwartz is exploiting.
Ashburn trying to drive and gets the foul call.
Listen, let me tell you, if Eastern Carolina can play D without fouling, they'd be an outstanding ball club, better than their record says, because they have the physicality, they have the athleticism, and they have the guys that get it done, but they just get a little handsy and be late, a second late.
One thing, they've been well distributed so far in those fouls. Not seeing one particular player in foul trouble as Mashburn off on that first free throw. Steve Settle back in and talk about being well distributed in fouls. Settle was sitting due to the foul trouble he's run himself into in this game. So something to keep in mind for this team as Gray comes off the floor before Mashburn knocks down that second free throw.
I actually like the matchup with Zion Stanford on CJ. I think he's strong enough. You know, I think Settle's a little too light in the hips to guard him. I think he's going to take advantage of that. Temple's back in the zone to try to prevent CJ from really getting going. But like the other side, Eastern Carolina has to get the ball to the foul line.
Felton, a good look down low. Riley
layup or a skip for a 3.
Welcome back to Philly, Jordan Riley. In the quarter, Settle thinking 3, settling things down for this Temple. From Temple this game.
Absolutely. They're well versed in attacking that zone. Temple starting to get to it late, but East Carolina started off with it.
Riley, the big dunk moments ago with the basketball on the right wing, trying to get to LeBeau. Settle nearly able to knock it away. Double coming there, and they're going to try and give it out to Felton. And Felton, who has had a quiet afternoon, knocks down the triple. He's up to 5 points, the lead back up to 7.
Now, if I'm Coach Fisher, I will live with that. I would just say, hey, we got to rotate to the shooter, but we're not going to let C.J. Walker, who's destroying us around the paint, we're not going to let him keep getting off one-on-one. We're going to double him every time. Ashburn
falling to the floor, get back up. Barry rising, thinking 3, off the mark. Tobias trying to tip it. Thrilled with the 9-0 start at home, but trying to avoid in these next 4 minutes seeing that fall to 9-1.
Right now, I want to see how does ECU do. Are they going to go through Walker, look to see, let the double team come, or are they going to try to get Felton more involved?
Now working everything out on the perimeter.
Stanford got caught with his hand in a cookie jar. I love that play, moving the ball. You see how East Carolina had the ball moving, and at the last play had C.J. Walker diving. And let me apologize too. I made the reference of Eastern Carolina. They are East Carolina or ECU.
you mentioned there with Walker, just that slip. You
Yes.
think he's going one way, he's able to get that step on you, and you're so conscious of that, especially with the physicality he brings, trying to slow him down.
And his first step is to watch this. Get the ball moving, and you know he's going to step, and you dive quickly. That's a very underrated thing in the toolbox a lot of teams will use, is slipping before you set the screen. It really puts the defense on the defense.
Walker off on the first free throw, knocks down the second, 8-point game.
Great D by East Carolina.
Ashburn trying to go to work, running into the double, kick in the corner, Settle for three. Yep, Steve Settle the triple, a 5-point game.
Settle, who was very quiet as of late, last 2 threes late in this game, both from the corner.
First 2 buckets of this game, up to 6 points now. The deficit down to 5. They tried to run the same exact thing right there for Walker.
I like that matchup with Zion and C.J. Walker. That's a real good matchup with them.
Hayes trying to go downhill, kicking Riley. 3 on the shot clock. Riley back to Hayes. Needs to hoist this one just before the buzzer, off the mark. And the ball knocked around. Berry able to come up with it.
Good defense by Temple University. East Carolina offense just didn't get it there, but they had a good shot at it. Now, East Carolina right now in that man-to-man D. If I'm Temple, I'm trying to get downhill.
Monte Berry trying to attack downhill on Walker and gets a foul called.
C.J. Walker with his second foul, I believe. Let's just talk about, we know we're killing Temple on the defensive end. I mean, offensive end. But on the defensive end, he can guard the bigs. He can guard the guards. He's so quick. I know he got caught with a foul there, but I still like his ability to defend.
Look at Berry there.
That was good D. That was good D. I thought that was another call the referees could have let him play through.
I agree with you on that one. Looking at them at first, maybe he leaned one way. It looks like maybe on the baseline they got a different view of it. But looking at it back, it doesn't really look like there's any, if even marginal contact on that one.
I think sometimes referees get caught anticipating the foul before that should happen. Right there, I thought there was a clear cut of that.
Berry off the mark on that second free throw, a 4-point game. And now he's guarding Felton coming across half court.
But that doesn't bother Felton. He's so strong. Like, he embraces that contact.
The ball going in here to Hayes midway through this shot clock. It finds its way back to Riley. Riley with the freshman on him, driving on Tobiasen, spinning around, trying to rise for one. A foul called on Tobiasen as he got that hand just outstretched, able to get the forearm of Riley and sending Jordan Riley to the line.
Let me tell you, they called a foul there, but you got to give credit to Riley. Look how he played off 2 feet. So, yes, he got contact with this. It's a good call by the official. But him playing off 2 feet allow him to be patient, to have different options off the footwork, and then elevate and get him to the free throw line. Good job, Jordan Riley.
70% free throw shooter, knocks down the first there. Played in 33 games for Temple a season ago, made 29 starts. Had 2 double-doubles, back-to-back double-doubles, the quarterfinals and semifinals of that crazy run Temple made through the American tournament last year.
I'm looking to get Zion Stanford or Mashburn getting downhill.
Ashburn with the basketball, driving down the right side, trying to put one up. He gets it, and a chance for one more.
Exactly. Right on the money. Make this East Carolina defense work. Make them play defense without fouling. That was a problem early on in the season, and it's coming back to haunt them. Mashburn splitting that help. Bad defense by C.J. Walker. You got to make a decision. I'm helping or I'm not helping, but I can't get caught in between in no man's land.
3 on Walker now as Mashburn off the mark on that free throw. The whistle here, they're saying they had a lane violation. Are they getting Walker? So Walker called for the lane violation, and not exactly what you want to do. Give a guy who shoots 79% from the free throw line a second chance.
And Felton's trying to get an explanation what happened there.
And they're going to wait here because for a second, the clock had changed. They blew the whistle before Mashburn took the free throw.
Yeah.
So the clock had gone to 0.0, and people, don't worry. There's still plenty of time left in this one. They were not ending the game right there. They were trying to adjust what I believe was the shot clock there, and just ended up taking the entire clock down.
Absolutely. But I'll tell you this, since the adjustment of Zion Stanford guarding CJ, he's been pretty quiet. I like that matchup. Two strong guards able to guard each other. Now, yes, I call CJ Walker guard because he's so versatile.
Take a look there at Mike Schwartz talking things over. 3 straight victories for this ECU team in conference. It's the second time in their history they've done that in the American. Trying to make it 4 in a row for the first time ever. As Mashburn knocks down that free throw and makes it a 3-point game.
There's no time like the present. Let's see how East Carolina wants to attack. Because CJ Walker's been very quiet the last 8 to 10 minutes since Zion has been on him.
He's giving up the basketball to Walker. Now off the screen, the roll, the pass down low, tipped out of bounds.
I mean, throw him off after that little break and make him do something different.
Cole stood there. Temple getting the basketball back, trailing by 3. Jamal Mashburn, 26 in the game, fresh off the 34-point career high the other night. Giving up Settle for 3. He rattles it home. Steve Settle, 3 threes.
Believe it or not, I think CJ, because I think Felton might feel, hey, you've been kind of quiet. Let me turn it on a little bit. Let's see if Coach finds a way to get Felton going right now.
1 minute to go, all tied at 76. It's Hayes bringing the ball up the floor for ECU. Barry tipping it away.
Felton wants that ball. East Carolina's leading scorer.
Running into the double and throwing it out of bounds. The double came for Felton. He tried to feed the opposite corner and fed the front row.
Great help defense by Temple. He got to that right hand. Temple brung that help. And then old Rattle, baseline drive, baseline drift. East Carolina's guard didn't get deep enough in that baseline.
Tobiasen into Mashburn. 40 to go in the game. Temple searching for its first lead of the game. Mashburn, the drive, rising, firing, no good, short, and a board pulled down by ECU. Shot clock unplugged, and the Pirates with the basketball.
Great defense by East Carolina, able to stop Mashburn from getting completely to the rim.
Hayes with the basketball, and a timeout going to be taken. Felton, the inbounder, guarded by Barry, going into Hayes. And Hayes dribbling it to that Temple tee. Crowd rising to its feet here at the Liacouras Center. 10 to go.
Barry
Hayes
had this Simon O'Felton.
trying to get to Felton, he does. 4 to go. Felton driving into the paint, spinning around, rising, firing away, no good, off back iron. And for the second time this week at the Liacouras. Settle tipping this one. Riley rising to tip it away. Tobiasen trying to get to the corner and grab it, and Riley knocking it out of bounds to give Temple the basketball.
You know, I was curious, was Coach going to go back to Gray? But he decided to stay with the team who got him back in this game, and I think that's a good decision.
Quante Berry in this game, 17 points, controlling the basketball.
East Carolina back in that zone, which I thought they would have went to a little bit too earlier, but they didn't. But you know the rule, get it to the foul line.
Settle again for 3, cashes it. Steve Settle, his 4th triple, and Temple with its first lead of the game.
Better late than never, and Settle coming through for them.
Hayes with the basketball for ECU. The Pirates 2-0 in overtime games this season, including most recently the overtime win over Tulsa. As Felton from the left wing had the jumper at the end of regulation, drives, can't get the finish, but gets the foul.
Getting downhill. Listen, let me tell you something. Felton's starting to pick it up and come alive right now late in the game, but I want to see Zion. I mean, if I'm Coach Schwartz, I'm attacking Zion. I know he pretty much has put CJ to a pick and roll situation, but listen, I know Zion's playing good D, but this guy got it going. You can't let him get cold. You got to ride that wave.
Felton, the first free throw, gets it to go. Was 0 for 1 from the free throw line in this game. Prior to that, Felton 75.6% from the free throw line this season. Off the mark, and Tobiasen with the board.
And what's different now than early in the season, early in the game? They got a defensive rebound.
Barry giving it up to Mashburn. And a screen from Settle. Settle, 4 for his last 4. Going to find Mashburn, left wing for 3. It's good! Jamal Mashburn Jr. Back-to-back triples for Temple to open the overtime.
And that happened. Uh-oh.
Someone else just had a career night. C.J. Walker at the line, but off the mark on that free throw.
And he's been doing very well so far.
Off the mark in the second one. The ball tipped into the hands of Steve Settle. Settle, huge with the three-pointers he's knocked down. He's got 4 of them, but also with 4 fouls right now. Something to watch. He and Stanford both with 4 fouls apiece.
If I'm Temple, I'm trying to get downhill. Even if it's not for you to score, but it open up driving kick situation. But East Carolina, the ability to switch everything.
Berry with the basketball. He wants his turn from the three-point arc. High in the air, no good. Walker with the board. Hayes with it now. Guarded by Berry, getting that screen to the right, going to Felton on the right side. Trying to take the freshman. Into the paint he goes. Attacking down low with the left hand. Gets the finish. He'll go to the line.
That was good D by the freshman at the last minute. Just wall up. Don't try to make that block. But it's length. It's good. But you look at that. Look at this. Probing, spin, jumping up, switching hands in the air. Oh, Kobe Esch. Kobe Esch, I tell you.
So impressive there to get the left-handed go. 3:02 to go in the overtime. And Felton off the mark from the free throw line. Walker to the floor to try and grab it. Tobias into the floor to try to grab it. We got a jump ball here. Possession arrow right now pointing the way of the Pirates.
They went in there by fighting for that. You know what East Carolina does very well on foul shots? They fight for that rebound. A lot of teams just get comfortable and don't go. They go every single time, and they go in there with full force.
You can look at it one of 2 ways right now. Doing a great job on the offensive boards, especially on free throws, but shooting 10 of 18 from the free throw line in this game.
Yeah, but the more opportunities you get, the more pressure you're putting on the opposing team.
3-point game. Felton trying to drive on Berry. The double comes for him. They'll say that Steve Settle knocked it out of bounds. Settle, you could see the immediate thought process when he hears the whistle. Don't be number 5.
Yeah, but I think he came a little too hot. He came in really reaching. I think he came out just to his left, and he'll do something.
The pass into Felton. They're going to get a foul on Quante Berry. Adam Fisher leaping into the air in frustration. Berry, you can see, he can't believe it. And to the line goes Felton.
You know what? I want to say this. I'm going to say this. The referee almost said out of bounds the other way, but that was the right call, people. You might know, Temple fans, you might not want to hear it, but that was definitely the right call.
And Felton a chance at the line again. 1 for 4 in this game from the line. Off the mark again. R.J. Felton, a 76% free throw shooter, just can't get that one to go. And now Elijah Gray coming into this game. Made it to Bison coming out of it.
I like that sub right there by Coach Fisher for the foul shot, where he wanted a bigger guy to battle with C.J. Walker there for that rebounding. I like that good call by Coach Fisher. But now they get that ball in. We might want to get Tobias back in there for defense.
Free throw good.
Because I don't think we want Gray on the defense. Respectfully, Gray, we don't want, because I think Coach Schwartz will take advantage of that matchup.
2:45 to go in the game. Temple by 2. First lead for Temple came in this overtime. Berry driving to the right, spinning around to his left, gets it to go. Quante Berry, he's up to 19.
If I'm Coach Schwartz, I'm going to CJ at the top of the key.
And the second foul on Quante Berry. You can see the frustrations for the guard as once again it'll be R.J. Felton going to the line.
But I tell you, they're playing very physical. He's been a good defender. He shot through there, got no physical there. The rest are calling these ticky-tack now.
And for Felton, it's just a tough feeling. I know for you as a player to go through a night like this at the free throw line, being such a good free throw shooter, how do you try and get yourself out of it?
Well, you know, unfortunately, I never went through that because I'm an 83% free throw shooter. But I understand Felton just at that moment right there, you know, missing that quality. So it's like the fouls weren't bad. And Berry only has 2 fouls.
I was aware of the free throw percentage. I was thinking maybe once at one time.
But
I went through a night like that.
But here's where you make fun of you. You're great. You can make fun of yourself. I did lose the A-10 championship to Rhode Island, but I missed 2 free throws with no time left to beat Rhode Island, and then Lamar Odom came down here to half-court shot to beat us in overtime. So I have been in that situation, unfortunately.
Mashburn rising for 2, short, but a foul called on Jordan Riley.
Hey, listen, you can say what you want, but Jamal Mashburn Jr. has an NBA father because he sold that call. Riley went straight up, and you see how he kicked his arm? I don't, maybe with the new rules, he maybe came down to space, but I don't know about that.
If you caught Wednesday night, certainly that last jumper, if you're on the Charlotte end of things, you felt a certain type of way about the contact that was granted to Jamal Mashburn as he knocks down that free throw right there. 30 points for him. Back-to-back games with 30 points. We're off the mark on that free throw. That's now 30 points in 3 of the last 5 for Jamal Mashburn Jr.
So let me ask you a question, Ray. You think he can score?
Just a little bit.
And he's doing it officially.
Walker's known a thing or two about scoring in this game. He's going to try and get going with a floater. That's short. Stanford trying to grab the board. He's got it.
People watching at home. C.J. Walker has not had a bucket since 6 minutes in the game. In the second half. That since Zion Stanford has been guarding him.
The Owls by 4. 1:40 to go in this overtime. Mashburn.
I like this matchup. I like that matchup. Riley, who's an incredible defender, great athlete, versus Mashburn, who's a great creator. That's like styles make fights. That's a good matchup.
And when you get that opportunity, when you see just the way he's shifty, moving people around, you love being Temple in this situation because you could give Mashburn the opportunity to get shifty pretty much every possession, and you feel like you're going to get at least a point out of these possessions.
Exactly. The way the refs are letting him call now.
31 for Jamal Mashburn Jr. Career high is 34, which was set just a couple nights ago. We closed it in on that once more. Gets the second one.
East Carolina's pushing the tempo of the pace now, trying to get the clock is not their friend.
Hayes open for 3. No good. Stanford the board.
Good D by Temple. Could have got a better shot. C.J. Walker's guarding Berry here. Right here, if I'm seeing Berry, when that clock goes down, I'm attacking him. I'm not calling for no pick and rolls. I'll tell him to stay away. I'm attacking him. C.J. Walker's a great athlete, but I'm still attacking. He's a big guy.
Berry attacking. The floater. It's good! Quante Berry gets it to go. Temple by 8, 89-81. Felton on the other end, fire away to 3, no good. The board, Walker lays it up and in, and a timeout for Piccarelli trying to get this one in for Temple. He finds his way into the game, looking to get to Stanford. Stanford holding the basketball is fouled. Zion Stanford at 17 points, had 17 points in each of the games down in Texas last week. Chance to add his total at the line, a 70.5% free throw shooter.
Pressure shots right here for the young guy. Oh, and the refs to make him tuck in his shirt. Something to stall him.
First one from Stanford, nothing but nylon, and Temple by 7.
Felton and Berry talking trash right now. Berry said, I locked you up the last 3 possessions. Felton like, I'm coming right back at you.
Stanford gets the second and go. Temple by 8, 91-83. Under 50 to go as Woodard gets the basketball coming up the left side. Mashburn slowing him for a second. Woodard to the corner. LeBeau thinking 3. That could about everything going on down there at the Wells Fargo Center. There's a free throw good there from Jay Woodard. A 60% free throw shooter. Makes it a 6-point game.
Substitution for the house, number 34.
Now again, it'll be Piccarelli. So I think they like Piccarelli's ability to get this ball in. They're going with the veteran to just work the ball in. And of course, you wouldn't mind if the ball made its way back to him and he ended up at the foul line.
Exactly. Oh, look at the good screen.
Piccarelli needs some help, finds Settle. And Settle going to be fouled as that ball comes out of his hands. LeBeau reaching in there for it.
So remember I told you a couple of minutes ago, don't be complacent waiting for the foul. Right there, Settle expected foul. He held the ball out. And then East Carolina, even though they got called for foul, they're going to get ball right there. Watch. Watch how he catches the ball and holds expected a foul. You got to tuck that ball. You got to start pivoting. Because if he got that ball, there would have been no call.
Steve Settle at the line for the first time in this game. Rattles that one home. First point he scored that hasn't been from a three-pointer. 4 3-pointers late in that second half and the start of this overtime. A well-timed hot streak for the big man. Knock it down, that free throw keeps this one at an 8-point advantage for Temple.
Temple got to stay down, play D without fouling here.
Felton trying to shoot this one. Berry swiped at it, called for the foul. For Quante Berry, that's his third. And it'll be number 3 going to the line for ECU.
Berry know better than that. See, let me tell you what happened there. Let me tell you what happened there. Because Berry and Felton has been talking trash to each other so heavily the last couple of minutes, he let his emotion get the best of him. All he had to do was wall up there. He filled Felton out right here. You got to wall up there in that situation. You can't do that right there.
31.9 to go in this one as Felton knocks down that second and makes it a 6-point game. Mentioned it a couple of times. 4 fouls in the first 20 minutes of this game. Since that time, you have seen 35 called from the second half into this overtime.
Yeah. But I think that's a big reason because both teams changed the way they was playing. I think both teams was playing the way they changed the way they was playing. And both teams became more aggressive getting downhill too.
Piccarelli back into the game to inbound it. And find Berry. Berry has a double team coming for him. He put the ball down in between Trouble's way. Felton went in to rip and grab it. Are they going to get Berry for a foul?
And
they're going to get Berry for the foul.
And you know what happened? C.J. Walker stuck out his leg. He tripped over C.J. Walker, his teammate.
Berry called for his 4th foul, and now that's putting Felton back at the line. And exactly what you talked about, bringing the ball down. Take a look.
Watch, see? You got to pivot. You can't stay still and watch it. See? See how, well, okay. Brandon's on the floor, too.
And Felton knocking down this free throw. And Felton, who had a rough start at the free throw line, now with some big ones late. Chance to make it a 3-point game for number 3. He does. 93.
Tremendous defense.
Piccarelli into Gray. Gray taking a dribble and gets the foul called there.
See, I like that right there. At least he's pointing, looking at a pass instead of catching it to hold it. And it results in him getting the foul for 2.
1 second going off the board there. And that for Gray, he heads to the line where his season coming in at 76% from that line. In this game, though, 3 for 5.
I feel like I'm on a PGA Tour. Should we whisper right now? Great hit in the first one here. Great hit in the first. That's the luxury of having a big guy that you can keep in the game late because he can hit foul shots.
Second one on the way. True on both of them to make it a 5-point game again. Up the floor, Felton. Some big free throws late here.
Points at the end. But I guess better late than never. In a position to come back here.
Riley, the inbound. Finding Felton. 24 to go in the game. Felton a crossover down the right side. The ball bounces away from him. He's able to get it back. Rising to put it up there. He gets the second chance opportunity to make it a 3-point game. Tobiasen needs to get this one in. Finding Gray. Walker there for him, and a foul call.
Walker was looking at the bench. Should I foul? Should I not? I thought that was the right call.
That's 5.
Yeah. He was questioning, should I foul? And foul, you got to do what you got to do.
C.J. Walker, what a tremendous afternoon from him. A driving force for the incredible start that the Pirates got out to in this game and finishing with a career-high 33.
Yes, he was playing some. And then Felton started to step up a little later in the game.
So, free throw no good, hit the front of the rim, bouncing off. Ray trying to get into double figures for, ironically, the first time since that last ECU game.
Yeah, Ray shooting one.
He's able to get it to go. All important to make it a 4-point game with 15.4 to go.
East Carolina got to get downhill real quick. Taking too much time.
Felton firing away for three. Can't get the bank in. Settle grabbing the board. Knocked to the floor. And now Steve Settle a chance to go to the line.
Great rebound versus one of the premier rebounding teams in the conference that settles in the line for two.
How about Steve Settle? Had a tough go of it midway through this game. So you take a look one more time. You mentioned just tracking this basketball and getting in a great position to grab it. But had a tough go of it, like that middle part of the second half, comes back in, had not scored, knocked down the big threes, and keeps himself in this game with foul trouble for a lot of that second half too.
Absolutely. Did it on the offensive defensive end, but his best contribution there may have been getting this defensive rebound and hitting some foul shots.
5-point game. Matteo Piccarelli coming into this game. Gray coming out of it. Bison staying in. The second from Settle. It's good. 6.5 to go. Temple by 6.
Just stay down. If I'm Temple.
Felton driving, rising up, slamming it home, but that's how this one ends.